Hello, everybody. Hello, and welcome to the Voiceover Network presents the Voiceover Hour. I'm Rachael Naylor, and we are joined by a very special guest. Victoria Atkin is an English actor and voice actor who's best known for playing the role of Evie Fry in the video game Assassin's Creed Syndicate, which is the first playable female for the franchise on next generation consoles. And not only did Victoria provide the voice for the character, but she performed the full motion and facial capture as well. Victoria's performance as Evie has been highly acclaimed in the gaming world, and since she has continued to voice some of the biggest franchises, Victoria has voiced for Titanfall 2 and Middle-earth: Shadow of War. It's Malin and Skelluli in Horizon Zero Dawn: The Frozen Wilds. As well as being an on-screen actor. Victoria played Jason Costello in Hollyoaks.
Yeah. Yep.
And lots and lots of other things. So welcome, Victoria.
Thank you. What an introduction. Thank you. Yeah, very happy to be here.
Thank you for joining us.
Of course, I wouldn't miss it.
Yay, wonderful. Wonderful to have you here. So, I like your mug, by the way. We just had a mug.
I did it on purpose, yeah. I did my gaming mug. When you do these video games, they give you lots of free things, or Comic-Cons, you get lots of things, and my kitchen has numerous video game mugs.
Oh, nice. Good stuff. Wonderful. Well, it's great to have you here, and you're joining us from Los Angeles.
Yeah, I'm at my apartment in Los Angeles right now, so it's waking up time, and the sun's coming out, and it's going to be another beautiful day.
How long have you been living out there?
Been back and forth for about 5 years now. Yeah,
okay.
So.
And you're originally from?
I'm from Hampshire.
Okay.
Originally, yeah. So that's where I grew up, but been all over the place. Obviously, for Hollyoaks, I lived in Liverpool, and what else? Yeah, it was in school at London, the Royal Central School of Speech and Drama.
Yeah.
So I've been all over the place really, and my father lives in Yorkshire, so I get up there quite a lot too.
Excellent. So tell us, how did you first get into acting?
Well, I always think I never really decided. It was just already decided. As soon as I was tiny, I was always putting on, shows for anybody that would watch, family and friends, and then I pursued it there wasn't anything else that I really wanted to do. So at 14, I did a production of Annie at the Wimbledon Theatre.
Oh, wow.
With a group called Songtime Theatre Arts. So that was
no way.
Did you go there? Did you go there?
God, yes.
We knew each other from there. Yeah, I got Songtime.
Funny that we've never had this conversation. Wow.
Well, it's not something that generally comes up.
No, you were in Annie. I was never in Annie. Yeah. I was in Bugs Malone.
Oh, okay. Maybe you knew my cut. I don't know. We won't go on ages now, but maybe I don't know where we were on this.
Did you come to Isleworth for the Blue?
Yeah, I did come to Isleworth for the rehearsals.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
That's so crazy. Yeah, we had a drive. My mum and dad used to drive us on a Friday night up to Wimbledon or Isleworth or wherever it was that we were supposed to.
How funny.
Anyway, I'm sure everybody's really excited about this. Did anybody else go to Songtime?
We're just going off on one. But yes, sorry, go on. So yes, musicals.
Yeah, and then I just had a love of musical theatre really. I really do have a love of music too. So pursued musical theatre and did that. Did performing arts. I went to the University of Chichester, and then I did a master's at the Royal Central School of Speech and Drama in music theatre.
Oh, wow.
So that was that. And then I thought, well, how do you become an actor after you do all the training, right?
Yeah.
What happens when you graduate? And I don't think anybody has the answer.
No.
So for 6 months, I just was extremely poor and thinking, how do I do this? Nobody tells you what to actually do once you graduate.
No, it's so hard coming out of drama school. Any drama school students watching, I feel for you.
Yeah,
it is. They don't prepare you really, do they? You spend, a couple of years being, looked after and everything's there for you, and then you come out and you're like, what?
I know there's things for you to do. You have to do dissertations, or you have to prepare repertoire, or, there's all these things to do. And then it's like, okay, well, what do I do? And it's just me to schedule myself.
Mm, wow. And then so your first big role was Hollyoaks.
Yeah, I did a really cute, I had blonde hair at the time, so I did a cute production of Cinderella. So I played Cinderella
Oh,
for a really sweet, beautiful theatre company called the Globe Players, and they tour around schools, and so we carried all the set, and I got to kiss a prince every day for a few months, so that was great. And and then yeah, and then I finished that and was auditioning and getting very close to different bits and pieces. And then the call came for Hollyoaks to go up and do an audition. And they'd already cast the part a couple of times and they couldn't find the right actor for the job. And then little old me showed up. So, yeah, things really started to change after that. It was
yeah.
great.
It's a big show.
Mm. Yeah, I'm very grateful for those guys and for that opportunity. It was really quite a baptism of fire being on that show and playing that character, but you know, I wouldn't change it. It was really great and an amazing training ground as well as an actor.
Mm. And so, just for those who don't know, so the character that you played was Jason, who became Jasmine.
No, it was the other way around.
Uh,
It was a young teenage girl.
Oh,
It was a
okay.
15-year-old
I didn't watch it.
girl.
So
No, it's okay. And she was transgendered and she had gender dysphoria. So we
okay.
explored that, and
Wow.
I guess it wasn't a she actually. He identified as a he, and yeah, Jason emerged, and we were
Amazing.
exploring this on the show, which was just great, really, really great. So as all the other Hollyoaks women were putting on high heels and spandex and glamming up, I was not doing that. I was wearing a boy's wig and boy's clothes, but it was fun. You know, I wouldn't
Yeah.
actually have wanted to play any other part.
Wow. Fantastic. And then, so tell us about Assassin's Creed, because that, I mean, how did you get that? And I mean, that's a huge video game to get and a
I
huge
know.
role to play, and that must have been, yeah, quite incredible. So tell us how you got that and how that worked.
How did that work? Well, I I auditioned for this role like I would for any other role. I did a self tape, um, and I'd never auditioned. Oh, well, no, I had. I'd auditioned for the first time a few weeks prior to this for Destiny,
Wow.
and got called back and was on a pencil and really thought that that was going to happen. I think it was only actually for the trailer or something to do some motion capture. It would have been a few days work and to do the voice for this trailer. And and I didn't get it. And then my manager at the time said, "Oh, will you audition for this?" And I didn't really know. I didn't know what video games were, and you know, I'd really come over to do TV and film, and I didn't, you know, I was just not aware of what was happening in the video game industry.
Yeah.
So thank goodness she encouraged me to audition for it, and I just did a tape, and they wanted a Victorian Lara Croft. So I I had a script that wasn't from the video game, which is quite common for auditions, and I put this on tape and just did this in the garage of the apartment or the house that I was staying in, and
On your
they
iPhone,
sent
is
it
that right? Because I remember you saying
on
you
my
auditioned.
iPhone. Yeah, just on my iPhone, and I didn't even have a reader. This is awful. I don't like. You should always get a reader, but I put my phone in a glass cup as a speaker, recorded the other lines, and just yeah, just don't do that. But that's what I did, and because it was, I don't know, I didn't think about it that much with it, and I think that was the best thing for it. You know, I didn't overthink it.
Mm.
So I went in and did this, well, and sent it off. You know, and I didn't hear back for months. I didn't hear anything about it, and to the point where my manager said to me, remember that video game? I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. You know, had no clue it was for Assassin's Creed, and I didn't know anything about Assassin's Creed at the time. And yeah, so then they called me and they said, well, they want you to fly to Quebec City. I said, well, I can't. My mum's over for a holiday. Like, I can't go to Quebec right now. She said, you need to go. So I left my mum for 2 days and flew to Canada.
Oh.
And she was all right. She was great. And then auditioned, met all the producers, and they were real big fans of my work. And obviously, I didn't realize that my
Assassin's Creed at this point.
No, I still didn't know. I had no clue. I'm just going over to Quebec, you know, and which is good. I think it adds pressure when you know what project it's for, you know. So I was really happy to do that, and it was just nice to, you know, get on a plane and get out of there and just really focus, you know. So I had this meeting and sat with the producers and the director, and my tape had been obviously circling Ubisoft. I didn't realize, but you don't. When you do a self-tape, you don't realize how many people see it. And I think you forget, you know, you forget that we do it at home and we think it's never watched. And then, you know, there's a lot of people that are watching it if it's the tape that they like. So, yeah, I did that. I had lunch with...
You did film audition? You did on-camera audition for it? Which is
for Assassin's Creed, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it was an on-camera audition. Sorry, yeah, I should have specified that. Yeah, it was an on-camera audition. And I'd never auditioned for voiceover. I didn't have a voiceover agent or anything. This came through theatrical. So, which a lot of motion capture stuff can do. I now have an agent that looks after that stuff mainly too, but I think some theatrical agents get a lot of motion capture.
Yeah.
So, anyway, yeah, so that happened, and obviously threw me into the world of video games, which I'm so happy to be a part of, and the voiceover world. You know, it was a long time for people saying to me, you know, you need to do something with your voice. It's very unique, and you got to do something. I said, well, I don't know what to do, and I didn't have a voiceover reel. I said, well, I like to sing, so I'll just pursue that. And I didn't really actively pursue that either. I was just like, oh, I'll be an actor, and shied away from it. But yeah, it kind of found me, and since then it's been really great to be part of this industry.
Yeah. How did it feel when you got the call that you got the role?
Well, when I came back from Quebec, I had to audition again for a chemistry read with the guy that plays Jacob Fry. That's Paul Amos.
Yeah.
So this is quite a fun fact. I had him and, do you remember the guy, James Alexander, that was Martin Fowler in EastEnders?
Yes.
James was there. So James had got down to the final two for this. I think this is like a nugget. Nobody knows this. Maybe I shouldn't be saying this, but he got down to the final two with Paul. And so I auditioned with him and I auditioned with Paul. And at that point, they'd said that Victoria is our first choice, but they couldn't confirm it until we'd done this chemistry read. And so they flew Paul and James out to meet me. And
so funny. I was thinking, chemistry? Like they're going to get you to do some.
Oh no! It's called a chemistry read, but don't tell us what you envision.
How good's your chemistry? Let's build some stuff. No, right, yeah. So acting chemistry, of course.
Not an actual chemistry lesson. No, I don't think I would have got the job if it was that. I'm not too bad at science, but yeah. So we had to just see who was kind of better as brother or sister banter. Cool. And I think both of them are fantastic actors, and I don't know where the choice came from, but you know, they made the choice with Paul, and it was great, and he's great. So
you did that, and then was that when you knew that you got the part?
I think the day after that they called and said, "Yep, okay, we've made our decision on the brother part," and this was in October, and okay, we'll send the contracts through, and then that's the bit where you're like, oh, because then you've got another month of negotiating, and until it's all signed, you're like, ugh. But yeah, it got signed, and everything was good, and then I flew out to Toronto in January, and we did this for, I think I was there till July. You know, doing motion capture 9 to 5, and then in the booth for 3 months after that, doing all the game efforts and play through stuff. Yeah.
So it was like 8 months.
About that, yeah. It was a really big, full time. It was great. Yeah. Yeah, we had a good time.
Wow. And what's been your kind of favorite part of being, part of that video game? What's been your favorite? Because obviously there have been lots of elements to it and lots of fun things that you've had.
I think that, the motion capture I adore, because for me it's a hybrid between TV and film and theatre.
Yep.
So you get to play. You really get to play. You've got this huge open space, and it just reminds me of why I got into this industry and why I love doing what I love doing, is because I think all of us as actors, with children, we have that essence of a child, and we like to play, and we like to create things and imagine, and in that environment you get to do that all day long, and there's no limitations in motion capture. A stick is your sword, and you put tape on the floor, and this is your house, and this is the train, and you really have to live in imagination, which doesn't suit every actor. A lot of people need a script and they need all these other elements to bring the character, but I think this is where the baseline is. You have to have that imagination. Yeah. So I relished it. I had great fun, and then they bring in your playmates of all these other great actors, and it's fun, really fun. So I like doing that. I liked some great actors from England came over. Jazz Deal plays Henry Green in it. He plays the Indian assassin who Evie eventually marries. So that's cute. There's a little romantic arc through that. And then Sam Crane came over and played Frederick Aberline, and Sam's wonderful. He's just finished with Mark Rylance on Broadway. So we had a real high caliber of actors come over for this, and I think maybe motion capture and voiceover gets not a bad rep, but they don't, but they really invested in this in good talent, and I think it paid off. It pays off, and the industry is recognizing now that skilled actors can really help make a game of a different caliber.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's such an exciting part of the voiceover industry. And it's just growing and growing, and absolutely. In terms of a great voice acting performance, an acting performance can make or break a video game.
Really can.
So, which is why get your game on. I'll talk about get your game on later, but yes, video game events, which is happening on the 22nd of June. People, 22nd of June, in London. Get your game on. So, but yes. And so, in terms of for people wanting, Roger's just appeared. Hello, Roger.
Roger. Victoria's taking tea. You were having a pause. I thought we might ask some questions because we got the questions back.
Oh yes, brilliant. Yes, the comments have come in. You know what?
Comments have all come in.
I can't see them. I can't see them.
Funnily enough, I can see them, but Lisa can't, and I'm not sure, but I can certainly see them. There's quite a few questions.
Before you ask a question, Roger, I want to do my little we're going to take a little moment for me to do my reading people where they are, because I feel like I haven't started the webinar until I've done my right. Unfortunately, it's not good, so I'm going to read through where everybody's watching in from. Right. Thank you for putting where you can still type in where you're watching from. Okay. We have Calgary, Canada. We've got Devon. We've got Puerto Rico. Hello, Antonio in Puerto Rico. We have Somerset, Leicester. Oh gosh, they're all kind of coming. They're going up and down. Los Angeles,
see them now. New Jersey, wow.
We've got Leeds, we've got Barnes, we've got Ireland, we've got Leamington Spa, we have California, we've got Wimbledon, we've got North Lincolnshire, we've got Ramsgate, we've got Isle of Bute, Scotland, we have Garden of England, we've got Texas, Washington, we've got, I'm trying to get the ones from Belfast, Poland, sorry.
It's been a
That's great.
Wow, that is a good one. That's an outtake. That's an outtake to go in the best outtakes ever. Poland. Wonderful. Welcome, Poland. Hampstead. We've got my thing keeps going up and down. Washington DC. We've got Wimbledon. We've got click webinar. You're really, really not in my good books at the moment because you're not making this easy for me. Southeast London. Keep them coming in, people. There's a Brixham, Atlanta, California. I'm pretty sure there's somebody. I saw that somebody had registered who was in Moscow. So Moscow, welcome. But Poland, Puerto Rico, everybody's here. PO land, yes, I know.
PO land. Like PO.
Wow. Fabulous.
Right,
Well, welcome.
Let's go back to some of these. Let's go
Canada.
Some of these questions there.
Ask your questions, please.
Okay. There's a quick note here from a Jessica Boyd, said that she worked with the Globe Players. Lovely bunch of people.
Oh, hello, Jessica.
Yeah, they're great.
James, question here. I've trained as a mocap. I've trained in mocap. Loved it, but I've not converted it into much work. Does Victoria think it's easy to make that jump into mocap from stage and film work other than primary VO work?
Do I think it, I mean, whether or not it's easy, I don't know. I've done Assassin's Creed, and then since then I've done motion capture for Horizon Zero Dawn. It seems that voiceover is still, I mean, probably cheaper to do for video games, you know, rather than get the full motion capture performance. I myself, I'm still trying to increase the amount of motion capture work that I do. So at the moment, I think there is a lot. A lot of the stuff goes to stunt people too, which is not somewhere that I wanted to train. But there's a lot of motion capture stunt work, which my friends that do more motion capture are stunt artists as well. So I think it's definitely possible, and I think if you have a stage background, it's ideal. I think this is exactly what the grounding that you need to have. I'm sorry I can't be more helpful with that question, but I think it's increasing. I definitely think that there is more work coming. I think we're in a really exciting time right now, that is increasing. So I would say just keep listening, you know, getting your ear to the ground with where the studios are. I know a lot of motion capture comes out of Los Angeles. I've heard more than the UK, but I think it's increasing. I met the guys at Imaginarium, that's Andy Serkis's company. They were based out of Ealing Studios. I'm not sure if they're still there, but that's where they were. So I think it's a case of, you know, researching and reaching out to these people. I think, as we know with voiceover, it's kind of a niche and tight-knit community, but once you're in, it's, you know, you start asking people, everybody's very friendly and very helpful, I find.
Maybe
And
James.
I would say that, sorry, Roger, networking is absolutely key. So yeah, get out there and do your research. What would you say, Victoria, in terms of where you are at in your career? How sort of significant has networking been?
Yeah, I think as long as it's genuine, you know, I think there's a lot of networking that happens. It's not genuine, or, you know, you're going in there to try and get something from someone. I think people intuitively feel that. But if you're genuinely, you know, interested in your career, and you're really, you know, that enthusiasm and that passion comes through anyway, and people realize that. I think that's maybe where that's happened for me, you know, and people have understood, oh my goodness, yes, she's really keen about this, she's trained and she's got the skill, you know. As long as you're going in and you're asking the right questions and it's genuine, I think that's where networking comes in, and you know, make friends, you know, go and make friends. We need friends as well as networking people, and people that understand, you know, when it gets quiet, that there's other people that are in the same boat, you know. So genuinely make friends, and that's, you know, it's starting to now pay off. You know, friends call me and say, oh, do you want to do this? You know, I came on this because of Sissy, who I made friends with through another friend, you know.
Yeah, wonderful Sissy Jones.
Yeah, so, you know, it's that helps, and then it's genuine, and you really care about each other, and you want to help each other, and I think that's where we need to be as human people and good people. But networking, for sure, definitely do it, but be genuine and care for others and help others.
Definitely. And I'm always, I mean, I'm a big believer in networking, but I always say that what you need to do with networking is you need to go and help other people. So what your mission is to go and help other people and connect with other people. And it's not about you selling yourself. It's about you solving other people's problems. And that's where it will come back to you. But meeting people face to face, going to training events, going to workshops, going to voiceover events, video game events is so important to meet people face to face and make those connections. So
yeah, definitely face to face contact is the most important if you can.
Excellent.
But this stuff's great too, you know, just like listening to bits and pieces and learning and taking away what you can learn from things.
Yeah.
Well, somebody in the chat room wants to know some more about one of the roles you took part in. Kaz Tailby, excuse me, says there's a moment in Crate Escape when Jacob makes Eve and himself flee from Lucy Thorne, and that pursuing Blighter. Is that right? I don't know.
Yeah, the Blighter.
Yeah, she asks, and Evie asks, "What did you do?" And obviously, Kaz doesn't believe there was an answer to that question, so she's asking you, what did Jacob do?
Didn't he explode the lab or something? I think that's a sarcastic. Most of my comments to him are sarcastic. Like, what did you know? Actually, I think the answer is I don't really want to know what you did, but we need to get out of here. You know, I think that is how I phrase that line. So, what did you do? You know, okay, we need to go. I will have to. There's a whole mission where Evie does Evie cleanup, where she goes back and sorts out all the messes that Jacob made. So I think she doesn't know what he did. She doesn't really want to know. It's a bit like a parent with a child. I don't know what you did, but I don't want to know either. Let's go.
Yeah.
What stays on the set stays on the set. Harrison Watson says, I've been acting for 9 years now, but I'm only 17 years old. I trained in the West End for a couple of years. Over the last 3 years, been working on short films, adverts, getting very close to some big auditions, Hollyoaks, feature films. Could you give some advice to him as how to land that bigger role, whether to go to drama school or just keep going on with what he's doing with his agent? A bit of a long question, one of the longest we've had asked, I think.
Well, good question. My advice, well, first of all, congratulations on doing this for so long and for sticking it out and for keep going. I think this is always, this game is like a numbers game. You know, somebody said to me the other day, you know, Victoria, you try and live your life quite, you know, I don't know, peacefully or spiritually or whatever, and but you do this job that's like gambling. And I never thought about it like that before, but it really is like that. You know, you keep going, and then one time you'll hit the big shot. But I think there are some ways that you can help yourself, and it sounds like you're doing everything that you could be doing. And I know that's really annoying. People say this to me all the time. Well, you're doing it. You know, you're doing everything you need to do. You're auditioning. You're doing the short films. You're researching. You're networking. You're going to all these events. I'm a huge believer in the law of attraction. I really am. I don't know if anybody on this knows about The Secret, but you should go out and get this book. And it really is, you know, about defining your life, and not to get all spiritual on people, but it really is about your mindset and what you want in life and what you think that you can create. And I think that gives you a new edge. You know, if you're believing in yourself and you visualize what you want to happen, you know, you become a different mindset. You become in command of where your life's going, rather than other people saying, oh, you need to do this for me, or, you know, you have a direction and you have a plan, you have a goal, you know. So I would say read that book. That would be the next thing, because you're doing everything right. You know, you're doing everything right. Just change the mindset, keep completely confident, and know that you are, and know that it's coming, because you're right.
I've never read the book. Amazingly, I'm kind of. It's on
Netflix too. It's on Netflix too. If you can't be bothered to read, just watch it on Netflix. I think it's like an hour and a half of your time.
I'm a big believer in the universe and putting things out there. I think a big thing for a lot of people is actually just letting yourself letting yourself kind of dream big and decide
Yeah.
what it is that you want in your life, and then actually writing it down. There's something really powerful in writing it down, like your goals and what you want your life to look like, and yeah, something
Yeah, this
amazing.
is really key. I do a talk at, with the master students at the Royal Central School of Speech and Drama sometimes when I go back, and I always say that the one thing that perhaps made me stand out from my peers, it definitely wasn't my talent, because I was around extremely talented people, you know, and yes, I am talented, but these people were incredible, you know, that they were amazing musicians, incredible singers, and if anyone to like come in, you know, I didn't get any interest from our showcase, but nearly everybody else did. But now, out of most of the people on there, I'm the person that's working, you know. And I think this came down to, well, it doesn't matter about that, but it came down to the fact that I had a plan and I had a goal, and I wrote this thing down. And we were forced to do a personal development plan for 5 years. And I'm not sure, but I'm pretty certain that nobody took it that seriously apart from me, you know, and continued it, you know, just continued that plan. And I still have it today of what I want to do in the next year, next 5 years, next 10 years.
How are you in terms of your plan back then? Have you done lots of things?
Yeah, it's so funny. I realized I did not set very high goals for myself at all. You know, my first plan was just to book some theatre and to be a movement coach. This was that was it. I didn't have any big goals for myself. And then I look back and wow, okay, I managed to smash them. There was no plan to go to America. I laughed at somebody that said to me about coming over here, you know, and yeah, but life will also take you in different directions. So set high goals, set goals that scare you.
Yeah.
You know, my goals now are frighten me to even think about, but that's good because it makes me get up every day and work towards them.
They should make you feel like butterflies in your stomach and your palms go slightly sweaty. That's what I think.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what gets you up in the morning.
Let me roll three. It gets me up in the morning as well. Let me roll three things together here. One about physicality with regard to mocap. Do you have to be confident physically with mocap? How difficult is it to work against a green screen when you're doing mocap? And then there was a question that I just whizzed. It's just shot off my screen, but it was to do with. I think there was a misunderstanding that mocap is sort of a modern day improvisation, but there's a lot of improvisation involved with mocap, as we know. So if you could sort of distill those three.
Okay, so first of all, you have to remind me of I remember the last bit. So I'll explain what. Okay, so physicality, I mean, motion capture needs people of all shapes and sizes. So I don't think if the question is about do you need to be like an Olympic athlete to do this and be in the gym every day, then I would say no. You do need to have a level of cardio if you're doing lead roles. I will tell you that I was exhausted after doing 8 hours of that day. And I am physically fit, you know, and I've run half marathons and done those things. But we also have people that came in of different shapes and sizes that were only doing 1 or 2 days. So when it comes to that, you know, it's not really about that. It's still about bringing the character to life. And I think what I did in Assassin's Creed was very rare. With Horizon Zero Dawn, I wasn't in as much. I think I did like a week's worth of motion capture on and off. And Ashley Birch, who plays Aloy in that game, she was doing everything. So you don't need to be physically fit, but you know it doesn't help. It doesn't not help. If you can keep your fitness up, then this will help with you, especially if you want to be. I know a lot of the guys are going for kind of Call of Duty or that kind of stuff. You know, you're going to be playing in video games. You're playing people that are walking for miles or running or shooting. You know, so think about that and prep your character as you would if that was a TV or film character. You know, you wouldn't not be physically fit for that. Motion capture, just to explain really what it is, because I know I keep saying mocap, which is bad. I'm abbreviating. It's not improvisation, actually. You'd normally get a script, but it's called a vault, and it looks like a padded, the old-fashioned school gyms. If you took all the equipment out of it, it's just the size of one of those, or a basketball court, maybe smaller. And it's just padded all the way around, and you've got cameras 360 degrees around that pick up infrared dots. I'll post a picture later of the dots and stuff on my face on my Twitter or something. But you get dots, it looks like you've got sort of black leprosy or something in your face. And then you have a camera here and a helmet and a kind of catsuit, which also has these little balls or dots on that too. So with that, the LED lights pick up that, and it makes the movement of your hands, your feet, your body, and it writes it to the animation of the computer. That's kind of so yeah, does that answer that question?
I think that answers it, and I'm going to just bunch another group together because a lot of people are asking about your first role. Was it your first role with an agent? Was it with games or theatre? There's also, do you need to have an agent to be able to get into mocap and to gaming? There's lots on the similar theme about using an agent to get where they want to go.
Mm-hmm. Well, I have a nice, interesting story. And so when I came out of drama school, I didn't have an agent. I got approached on casting called Pro at the time. I don't know if is that still going on?
Yeah.
So I had that at the time, and a little small cooperative agency called Rosebery Management, who I adore. They are a cooperative agency they were based in Hoxton Hall, but I think they've moved now. But anyway, it's all run by actors. So you put each other up for the roles, and so I did a little audition for them, and they said, yeah, come join us. So I got Cinderella from them, and I got Hollyoaks through them. And I mean, everybody was like, why are you going with a cooperative agency? Like, they're not going to help you. You need to be with, the big agents. That's not going to do anything. And I think if you want something bad enough, it finds you. You just got to keep moving forward in that direction. So I was with a cooperative agency. My motion capture Assassin's Creed came through my manager in LA, which I wasn't with a big voiceover agent. I wasn't with a motion capture agent, which I don't even know if they specifically exist. It's now my motion capture is looked after by my voiceover agent. But I would say that you do need to get an agent if you can. I would say, but it needs to be the right person, and it needs to be somebody that cheerleads you. And if it's not working, nobody's going to get offended if you move to another agent. This is part of the business, and I think as actors we're really loyal and really kind, sensitive people, and we get upset if we have to move or we have to do these things. But you also, it's your business. I spoke to a kid once who was with an agent, and they were asking me these questions and said, well, Victoria, I haven't been out for a year. And I said, well, you need to move. That's a year of your career gone. So, or have a conversation. You need to have this communication and conversations. So I would say if you're at a level where you can approach agents and you have a voiceover reel, have some skills, then approach them. What's the worst thing that can happen? People say no, or they don't get back to you. Well, at least you tried. So just keep going out there doing that. And I think there's many sites that you can audition for voiceover from home, and approach people. I think the voiceover motion capture industry is easier to access than perhaps major feature films in some ways, without an agent. So again, it's make friends employ friends, and do that and get out there with that.
Fantastic. Cool, good stuff. Roger, were there any more questions that came through?
A lot about there was an awful lot about agency. There was a lot about first experiences as a mocap and etc. But I think we covered the basics.
I think I think that there is a lot of work. I mean, there are a lot of indie devs out there in terms of in the video game world who want to work with voice actors. So there is stuff that you can do. You can reach out, and I would just get out there, contact companies, network. And video games is still fairly new in the voiceover world, and a lot of the agents are still voiceover agents. they're still finding their feet with video games. So if you can go into the agents and say, look, this is your thing, I think that puts you in a different category to a lot of voiceover artists who've been in the industry for a long time, who do a lot of commercial and promo and that kind of thing. So
I think even with even the fact that people are on this call right now and we're talking about this, I mean, you're still ahead of the game because most people don't know about it, you know, people or know that it's a job, you know, or know that you can do a career with this. You know, I still find that there's so many great areas, and I'm learning too, you know, my agent's learning and the unions are learning. We're at this really, I mean, it can feel sometimes unstable because people are trying to figure out, you know, rates of pay and all these different things and the rules and the residuals and all this stuff, but it also means that we're at the beginning of it, you know, and that's a great place to be.
Definitely. Now is the time to get into video games.
Definitely.
Absolutely. And I'm going to talk about some stuff in a sec. But just what would you say is what's the best thing about working in video games?
The best thing.
Video game characters.
You get to play. You get to play and you get to make up great characters. The other day I had to do a Scottish dwarf. That was great. That was really fun for a game, and a pirate and all these just fun extreme characters.
Yeah.
Just
you can't
playing.
talk about until the NDAs are out.
Oh yeah, I'm working on 2 video games at the moment.
I was a Cockney Fox the other day.
That was Cockney Fox?
Yes.
I think that should just be your username in everything. That's great.
So fun. And it was like proper, you know, she was a proper kind of, rough, it was fun. It was really good fun, kind of gangster. It was good.
That's great. That's really great. I love that. Yeah, I don't know. There's so many different characters, but I think also knowing your voice. I was doing a project the other day, and I always seem to do kind of strong, like warrior, assassin, kick-ass, like badass women. And then they said, "Can you do the voice of this fairy?" And I said, "Oh, I don't know." And they played me a clip of it, and I said, "No." I said, "I know my range." I said, "I'll give it a go," and I did it, and they were like, "Right, okay, we're not going to do that character." Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. You know, and I think this high-pitched fairy is my range, but somebody else can have that job. You know. So just playing, you know, any chance I get to play and get paid for it, I'm happy. Yeah. I'm happy as I can be.
Definitely. Excellent. Right. Well, I just wanted to also just tell everyone that before we kind of wrap things up, oh, wait a minute. Lisa's been kicked off. She's just told me she was kicked out. You're still here, Lisa. Wait a minute. Let me get Lisa back because she's been... Where have you gone, Lisa? Oh, gosh. Wait a minute. There we go. Let's make you the presenter. Fab, so she's back. But yes, Get Your Game On, everybody, is happening on the 22nd of June in London. And Get Your Game On is our video game event conference. And it's a one-day event in London, 22nd of June. And it's all about promoting great voice acting in video games. It's for voice actors, game developers, producers, casting directors, audio designers. And it's about bringing everybody into the room and inspiring each other and learning and networking and connecting. And so we've got headline speakers are the wonderful Sissy Jones, who's a mutual friend of ours. So Sissy,
she's great. Very lucky to have her.
Yeah, so she's going to be a speaker. In terms of mocap, we have Tom Keegan. Have you worked with Tom?
No, I haven't yet. Well, I don't know. Sometimes when you look on IMDb and they've done the same games as you, Sissy and I realised that we've done like 4 games together or something.
Really?
You don't, because you're in the booth by yourself. You don't know who you're working with until it comes up on IMDb. Oh, okay, we did the same thing.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So Tom Keegan's going to be there, and he's going to be in London. Talking about mocap. So he's one of the most in-demand mocap directors in the world right now, and he was up for he was a BAFTA nominated for Wolfenstein 2, and he's done Star Wars Battlefield 2, and yes, lots of things. So we've got Randall Ryan as well. Yeah, Randall Ryan, who is going to come, and he's casting director in video games and audio director. So he's going to be there. We've got Adele Cutting as well, who runs Sounds Cuts. We've got Stefan Cornicard, voice actor. There's a few others that we've got up our sleeve. So yes, get your game on, people. We've got a few tickets left. So I just want to, Lisa will post in the link. If you haven't bought your ticket yet, get your ticket. There are a limited amount of tickets, and they are selling fast. So over half of them have got, I think we've got about, I don't know, 30 or 40 left, but they will sell quickly. So yes, grab your tickets, members or not members. There'll be talks in the morning. There's going to be workshops in the afternoon. So you're going to have smaller workshops with all the, you can pick who out of the presenters that you work with. Where is the link? Lisa, have you got the link? Lisa, are you there? Can you put the link in, please? I'll find the link. I will get the link for you to book your tickets so that you can come to get your game on, because it's going to be awesome. And then also, if you want more of Sissy or Tom Keegan, you want more of them, we have got intensive weekends with them. So you can come to the Friday, and then we've got Saturday and Sunday intensive with Tom Keegan. Here we go. Here we go. Let me get you the link. An intensive with Tom Keegan. Oh, there we go. Lisa's put it in. That's the link to buy your ticket. So whether you're a member or not a member, you can book a ticket and come to get your game on. We have the intensive with Tom Keegan, which is acting for performance capture, which is you get the 2 full days with Tom Keegan, and he is going to bring a video game script. He is going to get you to audition for it. He's going to cast it, and you are basically going to rehearse it with him. And that's going to be a lot of fun. So you will learn a huge amount. So you get the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday on the intensive. And then there is an intensive with Sissy Jones. Members must log in. You should be able to book a ticket without logging in. Let me just double check that while we're here, because you should be able to get your ticket. Let me just double check. Public. Yes, you can buy a ticket, everyone. Email Lisa if you're having any problems with booking tickets. So lisa@thevoiceovernetwork.co.uk. Yes, that's the right. Thank you, Sam, for putting the right link in. Perfect. I think Lisa was logged in to the members area, which is why the members one came up there. So yes, use that link, book your ticket to get your game on. But yes, a little sneak announcement on the Sissy Jones intensive weekend, which is 2 days with Sissy Jones, and you get to get your game on. This hasn't been officially announced yet, and we will announce it next week. But I'm just going to tell you guys this. But she's going to be joined over the weekend by Randall Ryan. So we will get 2 full days with Sissy Jones and Randall Ryan on the Sissy Jones intensive weekend. Amazing. So you basically get 2 for 1, which is fantastic. So yes, so that will be announced next week. So if you want to, because you're basically hearing this here first, you can get yourself booked on the Sissy Jones intensive weekend. Lisa, if you can you share that in there? With it, you need to log out of the members area of the website before you get the link, please. Or Roger, would you put the links in for me, just so that people can register and book their tickets for the intensive with Tom Keegan, or the intensive with Sissy Jones, or the Get Your Game On tickets. So anyone wants to do split payments, you can email lisa@thevoiceovernetwork.co.uk. Or any problems with payments, then just email Lisa or me, and we'll get them sorted. Fantastic. Sorry, just going off on one. But Victoria, it's been so wonderful having you on the voiceover hour. Sorry, I've kind of just had to get all the Get Your Game On stuff out.
Everybody go do this. Sissy is wonderful. I'm sure Tom is amazing, and I think we should, on the chat, just thank Rachael for this amazing network. Just show us some love on this chat, because I just think you're helping so many people. so many people and connecting us all. You know, it's great to be a guest on this, but you're facilitating all of this, you know, and you've got kids and you've got husband, you've got this whole world, but you're still giving back and you're still providing this great service, you know, and it's a lot. So great to meet Roger and Lisa as well today, and what a great team. And yeah, look, send Rachel love. Look at all this love you're getting on the chat.
Oh, love. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, she's doing all this. So yes, thank you for having me, but it's a complete pleasure. And I hope that I get to meet all of you guys at an event soon.
Yes.
I'm sure Rachel and I will team up and we'll do something where I can be a bit more forward-facing and meet you all in person.
We are working on it, people. Don't you worry.
We're working on it. And if anybody's in LA, I'm doing Howard Fine Acting Studio. I'm going to be doing some motion, an intensive, like 3-hour motion capture workshop and voiceover thing with those guys soon. And they've kind of just sneak peeked it in their newsletter. So I'm going to be doing that this year. But I'll be with the Voiceover Network, and I'm coming to London at the end of May as well. So keep an eye on my social media. There's stuff happening.
Yes. We are going to get you involved in some stuff here in London and also in LA, because I'm coming out to LA in August.
Woohoo! Yeah, that's going to be great.
Yes. So yeah, which is exciting. So there may be some stuff, some Voiceover Network things happening.
There will be, of course.
Keep tabs, guys. Everyone, keep an eye. Watch this space. Also, to join the Voiceover Network now, you have to apply to join the Voiceover Network, and we only open the application process up at certain times of the year, and we do that so that we can kind of we can build on the amazing community that we have. The Voiceover Network is for working voiceover professionals worldwide, and what we've done, we've actually opened it up now. So you can actually join the Voiceover Network now. What I've done is I put together a special coupon code for you, wonderful people. And it is, oh gosh, I had it here. It's wait a minute, I'm going to have to go find it. Sorry, people. Stick with me. I've got a coupon for you, which will remove the £49, $63 joining fee. And it is web VICAT 18. There we go. And that will remove the joining fee. Here we go. Let me put that in. So if you're not a member of the Voiceover Network and you would like to apply to join our fantastic community, I've just posted it in and it's not come up. So it's, I'll tell you it again. So capitals, web, VICAT 18. So web, VICAT 18, all in capitals. Come onto the website, go to join, become a member, and you can come and join. Fantastic, good stuff. Right,
Rachel, just before we go, somebody has been asking on the chat about voiceover reels and voiceover animation reels and mocap reels. What I'll do for everyone is, if you follow me on Twitter at Victoria Atkin, I'll post links to my voiceover reel and my animation reel, so you can see as an example. I don't know if there's some people that are starting out and they need an example, but also go on voiceover agents' websites and everybody's clips are on there, so go listen.
And the new thing in video game reels, I don't know if you've heard, Victoria, is less is more.
Yeah, my voiceover reel is like 2 minutes, and my animation reel, I don't think it's more than 2 minutes. I just do clips of video games.
So there's been Mark Estelle put together a questionnaire that he put out to loads of producers and casting directors recently, asking them about whether they want lots of music and production on a video game voice reel, and the consensus came back saying no. They want very little. They want to just hear your acting. They want really raw acting. So actually,
or maybe don't copy mine then.
But unless it's real stuff, because the thing is, you know. But I mean, I think there are different people who like different things. But even if you can, so Mark Estelle and Andrew Motzel were both saying, if you record yourself doing, a monologue, they just want to know that you can act. That's the main thing. Mm-hmm. It's about, they really want to know that you can act and that you can come in and read and act. So there we go.
Oh, the stuff's so last minute, isn't it? You know, I come in, I get employed and then go into a voiceover booth. I've never even seen the script or the character.
Yeah.
So you just make it up on the fly.
Yeah. It's instant acting.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but yes, wonderful. Okay, so the hashtag, everybody, is hashtag VON webinar. Please do tweet. Your handle, Victoria, is at Victoria Atkin.
At Victoria Atkin. I'll go in there now after this and answer any other questions people have for the next kind of 15 minutes.
Wonderful. And show Victoria's love on Twitter. And we are at Network VO, and I'm at Rachael Naylor. So do Instagram as well, everybody.
Yeah, I'm on Instagram as well. Do that.
Yeah, Instagram.
What is it? Hashtag VO webinar. What is it?
Hashtag VON, VON webinar.
Hashtag VON.
On webinar. So VON for Voiceover Network.
Okay, there it is. There's a hashtag. I put it on. I can't see it.
Wonderful. I know the comments aren't coming up on mine anymore.
No.
Oh, click webinar. So I think we'll be moving to Zoom, everybody. There is another webinar next week with Jonathan Tilley, who heard it here first. Yes, Jonathan Tilley is back to share lots of amazing business stuff, and it's going to be all about writing the killer email. Killer email? Killer cover letter email. Cover email. There we go. Yes. So you should join us. Yes, next Wednesday. It's going to be later next Wednesday, everybody. So we will be doing 7 o'clock UK time. I can't. 11 a.m. LA time. But I'll email everybody about that. You'll get details about that, and it probably will be Zoom. Just to let you know. Wonderful. Right, we better wrap it up because we're 8 minutes over. Thank you very much, Roger.
My pleasure.
And thank you so much, Victoria. It has been an absolute pleasure.
I've had a great time, and so nice to meet new friends online with the Voiceover Network, and I really hope that I will be back in London